Hello and welcome to the latest MK Web, MK Dons podcast. It's a Thursday, that means we're having a podcast again, obviously. My name's Dan Palmer, I'm here with Scott Kirk. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, very well. Yeah, not too bad yourself?
Yeah, doing well, thank you. I think we're going to launch straight in and talk about the big game against Swindon, League One clash in Wiltshire this Saturday. I think everyone's saying that as far as playoff ambitions are concerned, it's really got to be a win, hasn't it? We could get up to as high as 7th if other results go our way, and that's just one place behind the playoff spots. So, despite the 1-0 defeat to Sheffield United on Saturday, if we can do that and get 7th, then it starts to give everyone a bit more belief, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're only one place behind the playoffs, then even if you're 6 points adrift, you can, you're in with every chance. So it's a big day. I mean, there's Swindon and Walsall 1 point above Dons. Walsall are playing Wolves at home, so that doesn't get any trickier than that. So it's a really big game, and like I say, I mean, even if they're 6 points behind Peterborough after proceedings on Saturday, you're 7th, and then that's it. So it's a really good opportunity, absolutely no doubt about that. Peterborough at home's a crew, I think, so you'd expect them to beat them. But yeah, whilst they're 7th, they're the top of the chasing pack, if you like. So, fantastic opportunity. And Carl Robinson believes the same thing as well.
I think if just looking at the League One table, if we see 7th and the playoff line just above, that will give everyone a bit of a lift, even if they are 5 or 6 points. Adrift of Peterborough. Well, of course, they still have to play at MK. At Stadium MK, so that'll be another big game, won't it?
That's huge. I mean, to me though, as well, even if we're probably getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, but beat Swindon but then lose to Notts County doesn't really, you're doing your good work. So it's a massive week. And then of course, if they can be in 7th before playing Peterborough, beat Peterborough, close that gap by 3 points, whatever happens. It's really on then, and I think a couple of weeks ago I would have been saying that with the goal scoring troubles, with they're not been winning games, Dons, and yet teams around them are slipping up as well. So they're still somehow kind of in that with a very, very slight squeak. But Saturday's huge, and I think that is the biggest game of the season now. Anything other than a win for me, and it's looking a little bit too far off, because if you're 7th, you might be 6 points off, but you've only got one team to catch up then. If you're in 9th, you've got to get above a couple of teams before you can even think about the playoffs, to me. So, it's a massive, massive opportunity, and it's a real big week. 3 wins, and who knows what could happen. It's looking really good. Wouldn't expect 3 wins, though, because they're big games, but, you can hope.
There's a lot of ifs and maybes on there.
Which you don't like. I don't like
it's been
ifs and maybes, but
but just because of the teams they're playing and the other games, giving everyone a bit of hope.
But such a good chance.
They've been so inconsistent this season. But if there's ever a time to string together a run of results, it's now. Swindon, there'll be a big test though there. So they're above Dons at the moment.
I think they've been just as I think they couldn't beat Crewe on last week, so I think they're just as inconsistent as Dons are. So it's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. Which Swindon team's going to show up? Which Dons team's going to show up? It'll probably end up being a draw now. I think it might be a draw. I think that'd be my guess.
So not very happy hunting ground last season.
No, it's not.
The county ground, that was a 1-0 defeat in the third game of the season, and that's when Dean Lewington got sent off to make it the first 4 games of the season, 4 red cards. And then Pete Winkelman actually came out to do the post-match press because he was too worried about Carl Robinson saying something and getting himself in trouble with the FA. So hopefully a happier trip. But
hopefully.
I mean, if teams like Swindon are targeting the playoffs, we're only just behind them. And we've got teams like Sheffield United now on a superb run who are still below Dons, but they're talking about a late dash.
why not?
into the playoffs. So
they just won 8 games in a row, so why not?
It's the momentum column on the tables, which you never see. That
yeah.
I mean, big factor, isn't it?
You want to see the last 6 games, and Sheffield United have just been phenomenal. So you can't pull them out as well. That's why you can't just keep looking ahead to an extent because Don's no face there, but Sheffield United are probably going to be getting in behind them, so and then getting in front of them. So it's big week. Anything other than a win, and I think it's going to be a real struggle.
And
there's still enough games though. There's 10, 15 games.
Yeah,
plenty of points to play for. Let's not forget that. About 40 odd points to play for still. But this is huge.
I mean, it'd be just like them to win on Saturday and get their momentum up, and then go to the team Notts County at the bottom of the table at the moment and slip up on Tuesday night. But hopefully the victory at Oldham midweek and the different midweek preparations they put in place for that game will hold them in good stead for Medline.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're getting the train to Swindon tomorrow as well. So I think they're trying that for some of the Saturday games as well. Sorry, not the train. They're getting the coach down to Swindon because it's the train's a bit strange I think there. But yeah, I mean, it's. You just hope now, as you've said there, that they can take that Oldham midweek win. That's a big hoodoo off the back, and just try and kick on. I mean, that's where Dons haven't kicked on this season. That's where they really struggled. There was that run in December, but apart from that, very inconsistent. A win, hopes up, then they lose, hopes gone, and they win, hopes up. And it's been like that all season. So, it's almost. I'd never be able to say it's pointless winning on Saturday. But if they don't then go on to beat Notts County on Tuesday night, you lose that momentum, and at this stage of the season, I think you were saying before that Bournemouth have done it. You see so many teams, Sunderland, when they got promoted one year, did it from the Championship.
Bournemouth came from the relegation zone to the automatic spots. Yeah.
So I mean, once you get that momentum going, it's very difficult to stop that, but it's hard to generate it in the first place. So Dons need a good week this week to really try and put themselves, we are in the playoff picture.
And rarely for Carl Robinson, most of his playing career was with non-league clubs, but he did have a spell with Swindon at the start of his career, I believe. So he's going back to one of his former clubs.
Yeah,
if you like.
I think he said he's seeing. He stayed with a family there. He was about 16, and he's seeing that family this weekend, which will be a very nice little tale for him. And it's. It's quite interesting that he's got those links there. So but back country Glock, that's not going to matter, is it? I don't think. But it's a nice story.
A bit of team news. We understand Dean Bowditch maybe returning to the bench.
Yeah, I mean,
the game.
That's a massive could be. They're trying to if they can, but. I think because they've not been able to name many subs anyway, or not the full quarter of subs, they might just stick him on the bench, just give him 10 minutes. I think Carl Robinson said that he's only going to get 10 minutes max. I think.
Because he did return with a goal, wasn't it? And now he's.
If he can have that sort of impact again on Saturday, then you'd take that one. If he bangs in the winner, so it's I mean he's had such a frustrating season, and I do feel sorry for him because. He's been back, and then it's been one of those real niggly injuries, and it's just been horrible for him this season. You won't wish it on anybody. So, hopefully they can sort of start getting a bit of fitness up, have a real good pre-season at it, and then, it's just such a shame for him, really. Cause, I mean, I've only seen glimpses of him this season, but he is quality. And when he came on and scored that, I can't remember who it was against now, but when he came on and scored that goal, that was just. Fantastic.
Yeah, great moment. I think any club would miss the number of goals, and not just goals but assists that he provides as well. There's been a problem, hasn't it? Not being able to fill the bench, not having enough names in the squad. When you do get one or two injuries, got Potter probably out. Well, I think definitely out for the rest of the season
Potter's
now.
Out for the rest of the season. I think Lee Hodgson might be the same as well.
Hodgson, another international, and we've got Gleeson out with. A thigh injury as well.
Yeah, struggling with his thigh. So
you can't afford to lose these players of that stature when I'm going to sound like Carl now, but when the squad's so stretched, you take 2 or 3 out, and then you're really down to the bare bones, aren't you?
That's what's going to stop Dons this season from the playoffs. I think. I don't think the Dons will get to the playoffs. I don't like saying that, but I think just purely because there's so few numbers. It only takes one more knock now, and and you get an injury to Dele Alli or something now, and you're sort of scuppered really. So it's a massive concern, the size of the squad, and just hopefully they won't pick up any more injuries now between now and the end of the season. But you never know.
Yeah. I mean, Carl has been. We've spoken about this before. He's been back to the Netherlands, continental Europe, basically saying we can't afford to bring English players in who have the quality required to get you into the Championship. Yeah. So he's sort of casted the net out, and that's 2 trips he's made out there now. So it's definitely a very serious sort of ambition of his at the moment.
I mean, you look at the style that Don's playing. They like to get the ball on the ground. They like to pass, and when you look at passing teams, you think more like on the continent, don't you? So. So it kind of makes sense for a club like Don's to be looking abroad, I think, anyway. And if they can bring in one or 2 cheaper players, I think they'll be looking for a sort of wing type, or a striker or something like that, someone who could pass the ball, which is exactly how the Dons play. So it kind of makes sense for them to do that, I think, anyway. And if they can be cheaper, then of course a football club is a business at the end of the day, and if they can do business, find some business abroad which is cheaper, they're obviously going to do that, as any business would. So it could be very exciting. We'll have to see how it goes, and have to see who they can bring in.
Just finish off this week. I think I'm going to go a little bit off topic. Talk about the MK Lightning in English Premier League Cup final action. Didn't really go according to plan last night in Coventry. The first leg, 4-1 home defeat to Basingstoke Bison. 1-1 at the end of the first period, and then it sort of fell apart a bit in the second period, and 3 Basingstoke goals. Sort of, they've taken a stranglehold on the side, and there was no further scoring in the third period. But it's only half time, as they say, and there's an opportunity in the second leg.
No
down at Basingstoke next Wednesday.
So no doubt about that. I think that sort of a lot of players in the penalty box in that second period, wasn't there? So I think that had a big impact.
Two goals on the power play for Basingstoke. So.
So it's I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've not gone to as many games as I would have liked, but doing the trip myself to Coventry and back, it makes you realise that how long this season must have been for those players, and the fans really deserve that, to be travelling for 2 hours. I think it's over 100 miles square, round trip.
Every game an away game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I think the fact that they're even there will really please Nick Poole and Vito and everybody there, and I think it's a real nice story that they're there, and it was a shame yesterday. 3 goals down now, going there, you sort of got it all to do really, but they've got nothing. There's nothing to lose. Just sort of get down there. I mean, it's not. They've got to score. So just go for it next week, and you don't need to worry about keeping it tight at the. Well, kind of need to worry about keeping it tight at the back because you don't want to go any further behind. But they've got to just absolutely go for it next Wednesday. So it was a shame, but it was a good occasion, I thought, last night, and all the pre-match was great, and I'll have to see what happens next Wednesday. Because they're still trying to get that. Still going for third, I think. So after they can't forget about the league form this weekend, but. It was a good occasion, just a shame, really. And then, of course, third period, Bison are always going to just get men sort of in front of the net out there, try and avoid conceding, and then take a 3-goal advantage back. So, shame there, but, it's not over yet, as you say. Stranger things can happen, and they can get quick-fire goals. They can blow teams away quite quickly, Lightning. So, a couple of early goals in that first period on next Wednesday night, and it's totally up again.
Yeah, I think... obviously, no ice rink in Milton Keynes at the moment because of the refurbishment of Planet Ice. So every game up in Coventry, there's a danger, I think, of this season of just kind of being, fading into insignificance. But to get to the cup final and they're in the top 4 of the league and guaranteed a playoff spot, so there's a chance of another trophy there. It's been outstanding, and full marks to the fans who go. Week in, week out, having to, driving up the M1 and back some late evenings there to support the boys.
That's
You wonder if they can do this with their home from home. When the new rink comes, that's got to be that's got to be promising for the future. Hopefully,
it's going to be really exciting when they can get back in there. I mean, if you can avoid travelling for 2 hours a week, they'll be able to get a lot more practice in as well, a lot more training on the ice, which will be fantastic. And I'm really, really looking forward to coming back to Milton Keynes next season. And as you said there, if they can get to a cup final and hopefully reach the top and reach that top four as they've done this season, who knows where they can go next season. So they can really pat themselves on the back this season already, and see what happens next season.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much for listening. Enjoy the Swindon game if you're heading off there, or the second leg of the ice hockey next week. Notts County on Tuesday as well.
Busy week.
Brilliant. Busy week of sport. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
See you again soon. Bye.
See you later.